Hello, my friends. I'm going live because I scored today the coin I've been looking for since I got a couple others. Now, I did get a couple other things today too, and we'll talk about them. This stuff right here, or most of it anyway, is old casino gambling chips, metal, that they don't use these anymore. And if you find these at a flea market or something, they're not worth anything unless they have silver. Well, they're not worth much unless they have silver. That's the flamingo in Vegas. But don't pay very much for them when you find them. Now, this one is a $1 gaming token for, hello, Jeff. Thanks for the like. Now, this says, okay, I know where this is. Chippewa. This is in casino, if it's still around. Is up in, I believe it's Minnesota. It's kind of neat. It's a copper one, I believe, or brass. Okay, what's this one? It's got Nevada on it. The Owl Club, Battle Mountain, Nevada. It's a $1 gaming token. Has a date on it, 1968. These poker chips are kind of neat. Hello, Darby. Now, this last one is the Golden Nugget. It's been used quite a bit. I don't know if this, don't believe this has a date on it. It's a $1 gaming token. So I added a few gaming tokens to my small collection. I paid 50 cents a piece for those. And part of the change, my coin dealer gave me this bicentennial $1/2 with a black line on it. It's not worth anything but 50 cents. Now, the other thing I got today, Great Britain, florin, 50% silver, which, I'm going to have a look at the details a little closer. It's 1942. Well, it says 2 shillings on this, and someone wrote florin, which in reality is the same thing from what I understand. It's a neat piece, but it's only 50% silver, and the silver content is about the same as a US quarter because it's bigger. Now, we will smash some tokens. Or not tokens, but smash some staples. Which is what I like to do with them so they won't scratch another coin, although this one's been used and it's toned. Now, about the title. Barber $1/2 hat trick. What do I mean? Hat trick means in hockey you scored 3 goals. And in this, the 3 goals, this is the first of the 3 goals, 1913, Philadelphia, in about good 4 grade. I've covered the price I ended up paying for it. It's a low mintage coin, very low mintage actually. That's why it's a better coin. Now, the one I had previous that I got at around the same time, believe I bought them on the same day. It was the 1915, which is lower mintage than the 1913. Philadelphia. But here's the hat trick. This is the 1914 Philadelphia. If you know your coin details about these, this has the distinction of being one of the lowest mintage coins meant for business purposes, spending of the 1900s. The total mintage of 1914 is under 125,000 coins made. Now, how many of them are still around? How many of them have been worn out? I don't know. But here's your hat trick. For all Philadelphia, these are the 3 lowest mintage Barber half dollars. And this is the order in terms of how many were made. They made more of the 13 than they did the 15, and more of the 15 than they did the 14. But these are all destined to go in the better coins box. Now, let's make another comment about something. This fossil. Somebody made a comment and said it could be a rare fern. Well, I've done some researching on the internet, and the type of fern he was referring to did not grow in the area I'm from. That doesn't mean this rock came from the area I came from, because it was in an alley. The rocks could have come from anywhere. So I don't know. When you find this when you're a kid in the alley, it's interesting. But is there any real value to this thing? I don't know. I guess it's whatever someone would pay me. Now, of the silver I've been buying lately, other than these 2 I just got, the refiner will take 999 silver. They're not really taking the 90% or the foreign stuff right now. So this I ended up buying because it's kind of a smoke show to me. I like how it's toned. And it's 1 ounce of 3/9 fine silver. Now, I did buy from the same guy, same coin dealer guy, a couple other rounds in recently that had some damage. This one's kind of vintage, but it is damaged. It's a Statue of Liberty. It says 1980 on it. Big hole drilled in it and some other damage. But I got it for a few dollars under what the amount of silver weight of this is. So I got it under its actual melt value, really. And the refiner will take that. They may not like the fact it's got a hole in it, but they'll take it. But the other thing about refiners, I'll take this one too, 3/9 fine silver. This one's probably vintage from the 70s. They used to make a lot of these where people would have something engraved on the back, like Happy Birthday or Merry Christmas or something, and present it to children who probably had no idea that it'd ever be worth anything. But with silver at around $50, and this is a little low because of the hole drilled in it, it's probably about 18.5 pennyweight, or about, I'd say 2.5 grams light, maybe, or 2, something like that. Without having the scale out to measure the weight, I can't tell you. But for sure, I can get the scale out if I want to. But yeah, the red coin glass I just got, featured it prominently in my live last night. And I'm featuring it again because it's pretty cool. Now let's take this stuff out. For those who haven't seen this and don't know what coin glass is, take out the gaming tokens. And we'll just lift this up and let the light shine through it. You can kind of see and the frosting on the coins. It says 1887, which most of these say 1877 or 1887. I think pretty much all of them do. There might be a couple of them that have a different date on them, but this isn't that old. Apparently this stuff has a little bit of uranium in it too. But I got this at a pretty good price. The red one, there's something stuck on it. And fingerprints. Wait. Year he's born. What year? Because if you mean 1913, like that $50, I have a hard time believing someone, that's watching me on YouTube who's that old, because that'd put you well over 100 years old. These are kind of cool. I have several different examples of coin glass trays. Now, I don't smoke. It's a smoker's ashtray, but I don't smoke. But I like it just because it's neat looking and you can lay out stuff in it that you're talking about. Like the hat trick of Barber $50. And if you've ever watched or played hockey, you know what I mean by hat trick. It means 3 goals in a game. So 1913, Philadelphia, somewhere around 188,000 were made. The 1914, it's just under 125,000. It's 124 something. And I believe this 15 is 138,000. Out of all the Barber coins, these are probably going to be some of the hardest to find in a local coin shop because they didn't make very many. And when they don't make very many, and a lot of them get worn because you look at what years these are. Well, what happened in 1914? World War I happened in 1914. And by the 20s, the United States had a big boom in the economy that went boom at the end of the decade and became the Great Depression. So this kind of stuff, if you were poor, this meant you could buy some food. So this stuff, I don't even know how many of these are graded in mint state in these years. I mean, out of all the Barber halves, those 3 added all up, how many they made of the 30. So 188 plus 138 plus 125 roughly. They made 451,000 of the 3 coins. Most of the Barber halves, the lowest number of mintage was in the 500,000 range. So automatically these are a lot more rare than what most of the rest of them are. I was just looking at the red book yesterday, and I'm suggested you get one, even if you buy it from a vendor shop and pay a couple dollars for it. 2018, the prices will be different, but the thing that won't be different is how many they made. So you go back to your Barber $50. Remember, 451,000 of those were made for those 3 years combined. You go over here and look. The 1892 Orleans, 390. It's kind of valuable because I think survivability is a problem. And then the micro O, I don't know how many there are. It's included in the number above. But you look at all the rest of these, they're in the millions, most of them. The Orleans Mint, some of them are a little bit lower. And maybe even the San Francisco sometimes. But most of these, you can tell, there are millions of coins were made. Until you get down to the end of the line. You see 1913, 188,000. 1914, 124,230. Then I have to flip the page. It's one thing I like about these spiral bounds. You can hold them open like this and not tear up the spine of your book. So 1915, 138,000. Now, the price I paid for each of these coins, this good for, the way the red book explains it, this is for graded coins, I believe. So had them been sent off to ANAX or PCGS or NGC, that's about the price you would have expected to pay for them in 2018. Might be a little higher now. Now you look, the 1914 says 150, 1913 says 75. Now it's not the most collectible in terms of value because that 1892 Orleans is 300 at good for. And the 1897 Orleans is 160 at good for. So they're a little bit higher value at this time when this book was printed. Now, the $17 and $18 for a lot of these at good for is below the melt value today because silver's up quite a bit since 2018. So I don't know what the most recent red book would list these at. Probably $25, I'm guessing. I don't have one handy, but if anyone does and they want to say in the comments, they can. If you have a 25. Red book. All right. Let's just clear out some stuff. Back in here. Stack up some of these loose coins on the table I have in the way. Put them in here too. That 50-cent coin. And the florin. Move the fossil. The gaming tokens. Now, there are gaming tokens that have 0.6 of an ounce of silver in the middle of them, and they have like I believe it's copper around it. It's a bimetal piece. Those are worth what their weight in silver is. And all right, we'll use the scale. All right, we're going to change the mode to grams because that's what the weight zeroes in at. It zeroes in at 50 because it's a 50-gram weight. 50 grams, 50-gram thing. So the first thing I'm going to weigh is this right here, and it's Sigma tested because the guy I bought it from, all the silver he buys, he Sigma tests. It's reading slightly higher than 1 troy ounce. And he said sometimes these companies made them, they didn't have as tight as a regulation as like the American Silver Eagle, which comes up on troy ounce at 1 right on the nose. That bar weighs in at 1.02 ounces of troy, even though it says 1. All right. So that we know what that one is. Now this scale is a little, it's not super accurate all the time. It plus or minus a certain amount. We'll throw the Eagle Liberty round on there. It's going to come up a little light. Even though it's got a hole in it, it's not quite as light as I would have expected. So we'll weigh the Statue of Liberty one, which this is kind of a high relief right on the Statue of Liberty. It pops up off the surface of the coin a bit, and so does the eagle head. So what does it weigh in troy ounces? It's not down that much, 0.992, even with the hole in it, which, like you wouldn't think it would be that close to 1 troy ounce with a hole in it. But it could be what he was saying, that the independent refiners probably didn't have as tight a tolerances as the American Silver Eagle and more modern stuff. So we'll put this back on penny weight, because that's how the one guy prices all his silver stuff. He uses penny weight. 20 penny weight is 1 troy ounce, so it's 0.16 light, which is not that bad. Let's see what this says. It should be 20, it's 19.68, so 0.32 penny weight light. And we will go ahead and measure this one. It's going to come up slightly heavier. It's coming up 0.4 penny weight heavy, but it is Sigma tested as 3/9 fine silver. I have no doubt that it's a real piece, and maybe some of this toning is actually dirt on it too. I could probably use fingernail polish remover, the acetone, and take that off of there. But the look of it is why I got it. Not going to take that off because I like how it looks. What do these poker chips weigh? Or not poker, but casino chips. 15.86 penny weight. That was silver. It would be worth, that's almost 16. How many grams is it? Throw it on grams. Well, it's almost 25 grams of metal. If it was silver, 3/9 fine, you're talking about a decent amount of silver, but it's not. I'm wondering, that's probably similar weight. Actually, it's a bit lighter. It's 21.38, must be a little thinner. So we'll get this copper brass looking one. It don't feel near as heavy. And it's not. It's a 17.87, almost 18 grams of possibly brass, maybe copper, which brass has a lot of copper in it, but it's also mixed, I believe, with tin. Well, that's enough for the scale for now, because all them other coins that are the silver ones, they're all in card mounts, and you can't get an accurate reading off of a card mount. But given these half dollars started at 12.5 grams, and the amount of wear on it is probably 11 something, weight. But you're not buying that one because of its weight. And generally, most of the time, you can't get any Barber coins near their weight. They usually charge a little extra for them. Every coin dealer I ever bought them from. These are usually more than Walker's or Franklin's and the 64 Kennedy, even though they're worn. But I completed the hat trick of these Philadelphia Barber half dollars, the 3 lowest mintage coins of the Barber half dollar series. Between the 3 years, 451,000 were made, so roughly. In the 1914 was 124,000. I think it's 230. So this is a very rare coin for a business strike coin, one that was meant for circulation. Because at this time, I don't think too many people were really collecting coins in 1913 and 14, 15. So once they stopped making these, I don't think too many people thought, well, maybe I should keep these. I don't know what they did with them. Who knows? Maybe the government even, Mint anyway, took some of them back, melted them, and restruck them into Walkers. I don't know. I don't really know if they did that at all, even. It's possible, I guess. I know a lot of Morgan dollars were melted. Hence, survivability on certain years make a few years a little harder to find, and especially ones in mint state. But that pretty much covers what I was wanting to talk about tonight. So I'm going to wish everyone a good night. Thanks for stopping by, because it's pretty much all I have. We'll see you next time.